You're 42, maybe 55, and you just realized everyone talks about dividend investing like it's a young person's game. Start at 25, retire rich at 55, and you're sitting there thinking, I missed the window. I'm about to show you why that thought is costing you money right now, and why late starters actually have an advantage most 25-year-olds don't even know exists. This isn't theory, it's about building real, spendable dividend income starting from wherever you are right now. Real numbers, 2026 math. Here's what we're covering: the reinvestment move late starters almost always skip, the exact assets that generate the most income per dollar in 2026, and how to calculate the number you're actually building toward. Let's get into it. Most people who start in their 40s or 50s make one mistake right out of the gate. They chase yield. They see a stock paying 11%, 13% and think, finally a shortcut. The logic makes sense on the surface: higher yield, more income, faster. But here's what actually happens. Many of those ultra-high yield stocks are paying out more than they earned. When the company eventually cuts the dividend, and many do, you lose the income and the share price drops at the same time. Late starters can't afford that double hit. You don't have 10 years to recover from a bad bet. There's a middle ground almost nobody talks about. I call it the balanced yield zone. Stocks and funds yielding 4 to 8% with consistent dividend growth of 5 to 10% a year. Invest in something paying 5% today, growing its dividend 8% annually, and in 8 years, your yield on your original investment is over 9%. You never touched anything risky. Growth just did the work. That's yield on cost, and it's the secret weapon of every serious dividend investor who started late. At 25, you have 30 years to wait for compounding. At 45 or 52, you don't. You need yield now and growth. This gives you both. But without the right reinvestment structure, you're leaving money on the table. Here's the move most late starters skip: reinvesting on purpose with a deadline. Not just leaving auto reinvest on forever and not spending every dividend the moment it lands. The smart move is picking a date, 3 years out, 5 years out, where you flip the switch from reinvesting to spending. Say you've got $120,000 at 6% yield. That's $600 a month. Spend it immediately for 10 years. You still have roughly $120,000. Reinvest it instead, and in 10 years, you're near $220,000 to $240,000, nearly double. Flip the switch then, and you're not pulling $600 a month. You're pulling $1,100 to $1,200. You don't need 30 years for that. You need 5 to 10 years of discipline. Now, what do you actually buy in 2026? 3 categories, each with a different job. Dividend growth funds are your foundation. Yields look modest, 2 to 4%, but the payout grows 6 to 10% a year. These are the engines running quietly in the background, building your yield on cost over time. Income-focused funds, covered calls, preferred shares, yield 6 to 8% right now. These are your income accelerators, pushing your cash flow up faster today at the cost of slower growth. Don't go all in on either type. A blend works in year 3 and year 15. The second category is the one most people overlook: income-focused business lending funds. These lend to small and mid-sized businesses and are structurally required to pay out most of their taxable income as dividends, often 8 to 11%. The difference from a random risky high yielder is structure: transparent portfolios, visible default rates, and a dividend coverage ratio you can actually check. 15 to 25% of your portfolio here can move your income numbers significantly without betting a farm. The third category is individual stocks in the core 4 sectors: utilities, consumer staples, healthcare, and financials. People always need electricity, food, medicine, and banking, recession or not. Not glamorous, but historically some of the most reliable dividend income in the market. 8 to 12 well-researched names here, not 30 speculative ones. Now let's run the actual math. 3 starting points. $40,000 at 6% yield is $200 to start. Reinvest everything, add $400 a month, grow at 7% annually. In 10 years, you're near $150,000, generating about $750 a month, a meaningful supplement without touching the principal. $120,000, same strategy, add $800 a month, 10 years out, you're near $380,000, close to $1,900. Combined with Social Security or part-time income, that's a livable retirement supplement for a lot of people. $250,000, same discipline, you land near $700,000, around $3,500 a month. For a lot of people, that's retirement, full stop. None of this is magic. A 6% blended yield is achievable with this mix. 7% growth is conservative historically. The question isn't whether this works for late starters. It does. The question is, what's your number, your timeline, and what you're willing to put in? One last tool. Take the monthly income you want and multiply by 200. Need $2,000 a month, your number is $400,000. Need $3,000? $600,000. Write it down right now, because the difference between people who build real dividend income and people who just watch videos about it is that one group has a number and the other has a feeling. What's your situation? Just starting or optimizing what you already have? Tell me in the comments.